On Waiting Well, Volume 1. 1. There is an art to waiting that has been nearly forgotten. We tend to think of waiting as a deficiency, a lack, a gap between what we want and what we have. To wait seems to us a weakness, a sign that we are not in control. And so we fill the waiting with noise, with screens, with chatter, with the constant fiddling of the hands. We do not want to face the bare weight of waiting. But there is another way. There is what I call waiting well, waiting that is not empty, not wasted, not a dull stretch of nothingness, but a kind of practice. The way a seed waits beneath the soil in winter, silent but full of potential. The way a musician pauses between notes, stillness that holds the music together. To wait well is to allow waiting itself to become fertile ground. 2. When you are forced to wait, by illness, by delay, by disappointment, you stand at a crossroads. You can treat the waiting as an enemy, pacing and cursing and wishing it away, or you can accept it as a teacher. Waiting well does not mean you must enjoy the delay or pretend that pain is pleasant. It means you allow waiting to speak to you. You allow yourself to be shaped by it rather than shattered by it. The impatient man gnaws at the bars of time until he breaks his own teeth. The one who waits well sits quietly, breathing, and discovers that even the bars are not solid but porous. Time passes through him and around him, and in that passing, he learns. 3. Waiting well requires 3 movements. First, acceptance. To say simply, I cannot move time forward. I cannot make the clock obey me. That is humility. Second, attention. To turn your eyes and ears toward the small things that still remain in reach. The rustle of a sheet, the breath of a friend, the angle of light through a window. Third, trust. Not naive optimism, but trust that what is coming will come in its own hour, and that you do not have to manufacture the world by force. Acceptance, attention, trust. These are the bones of waiting well. 4. The hospital is a school of waiting. The corridors are lined not with decorations, but with delays. Nurses promise to return in a few minutes, doctors say they will adjust the dosage soon, friends vow to stop by first thing in the morning, and still the hours stretch out. Here, the body itself conspires to remind you that you are not master of time. Healing cannot be hurried. But, if you are willing, the hospital can become more than a place of frustration. It can become a monastery of patience. Each beep of the machine is a bell tolling, reminding you that you are alive and that aliveness itself is something to be waded into, not seized. 5. We confuse waiting with passivity, yet waiting well is active. It is the work of holding yourself open. It is like standing at a door that will not unlock, but rather than pounding your fists against it, you stand steady, breathing, ready, so that when it opens you are not exhausted with rage but prepared to step through. The stillness of waiting is not the stillness of death, but the stillness of a river's depth. Beneath the calm surface currents move. To wait well is to feel those currents without splashing desperately at the surface. 6. Philosophers through the ages have known this. The Stoics practiced patience not as resignation but as discipline. Augustine spoke of the soul stretched out in expectation, a kind of holy tension. Even Kierkegaard, that restless Dane, insisted that true hope is inseparable from waiting, for it is hope precisely for what is not yet. The soul that cannot wait cannot hope. It can only demand, and demand, though loud, is fragile. Waiting, though quiet, is strong. 7. To wait well is also to suffer well. For suffering is not just the sting of pain, it is the interval, the length of time in which the pain is born. Pain comes like a spark, but suffering lingers like smoke. If you can wait well in the smoke, you do not suffocate. You breathe with it. You endure. This does not make the pain less real, but it makes you less broken by it. Waiting well transforms pain from chaos into endurance, from pure wound into a kind of wisdom. 8. There is a mystery here. Often, when we are forced to wait, what we truly wait for is not the event itself, but ourselves. We are not merely waiting for the medicine, or for the friend, or for the doctor's decision. We are waiting for our own soul to catch up with the truth of our life. The pause between what we want and what we have is a mirror. In it, we see who we are when we cannot force the world to obey us. If we learn to look into that mirror without fear, we discover both our fragility and our strength. 9. To wait well is also to love well. For what is love but the willingness to dwell with another in their timing, not yours? Parents wait with children, lovers wait for one another's growth, friends wait at hospital bedsides. Love is not control, love is patient. And patience, as the old letter says, is kind. Waiting well is, therefore, not merely a solitary discipline. It is a way of being with others. It is how we learn to walk at another's pace. 10. And so I say, do not despise the waiting, do not curse it. It is not your jailer, but your tutor. It asks you to live with what is real, not what is ideal. It asks you to be humble, to pay attention, to trust. It invites you to discover that even in the long corridors of delay, there is life. Strange, surprising, unchosen, but real life. To wait well is to live well, even when life is suspended.